What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo, man, and you guys already know, man, we got a good one. As you guys can see on the title, man, this is gonna be a little sensitive subject for me, right? Especially because, man, this happened to be someone that I grew up with, and I happen to be real cool with, man. This is one of my boys, you know. R.I.P. to Locz. Pretty much, I tend to stay away from certain subjects, but hey, Hellcat, don't think that I just skipped your question and your comment, bro. I will get into certain individuals that you did drop on the thing, right? And this homie happens to be one of that I was gonna get into, but you gotta understand that at the end of the day, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna disagree with me, right? Because me personally, I don't agree or go by what people said that happened, right? Me personally, I don't see that the homie was a weak-minded individual to go out like that, right? So with all that being said, I know you guys are wondering, what do you mean weak-minded individual, right? I'll get into that. But with all that being said, man, make sure to hit them likes for your boy, hit that notification, and always drop a comment and let me know what you guys think, right? And as well, what you guys want to hear and watch. Because I am here to provide content for you guys, you know what I mean? You guys are my supporters, and I don't want you guys to feel that I'm neglecting you guys in any type of way. So with all that being said, man, let's get started, man. So I'm gonna start off in the weak-minded part because I know a lot of individuals were like, "What do you mean?" Oh, especially if they knew the homie. There was nothing weak about that individual, right? He happened to be someone that was solid all the way. And I happened to grow up with this individual when I was young. He happened to be the channel for my hood, right? So he was considered someone to be a big homie for the hood. And a lot of homies respect this individual, not just my neighborhood, because when the homie did RIP, you know what I mean? I send mine some food to all his family, and I hope everybody that he loved and that loved him can recognize that this isn't no shots or nothing like that. This is all made with respect, right? So I hope everybody's doing good out there and having a blessed day. So when the homie did pass away, you guys were for the people that did go to his service, you guys were able to tell that this individual was loved by a lot of individuals, right? Every hood was technically there, right? Even hoods that were considered to be funking with us at a certain time, right? They happen to show up and show their support, especially because this individual happened to be someone that was able to climb up the ladder without even hitting the system, right? And people are going to be like, what do you mean by that? He pretty much became someone that was really influential when it came to Watson, and especially for like the young homies like myself, right? Because we did look up to this individual. He was never biased. He was never there was something different about him. And as you guys are going to tell in the comments, there's going to be a lot of good comments talking good about the individual, right? But I'm going to tell you why I said weak-minded. On the news report, and I might actually pull that up and put it up for you guys, right? And the news report, they did say that the individual had taken out his life, right? His own life at that, because of an ex, someone that pretty much he loved, and pretty much it was all over. It was a suicidal thing, right? I'm going to clarify this. And I know that a lot of individuals might not agree with me because they know what they got going on, right? But me personally, I never seen old boy as a weak-minded individual where he would have had taken his life over a female, right? I know homeboy, and even though I know how grimy it really gets when with this whole political stuff, he happened to have some haters, homie. So me personally, I don't buy that. I'm not gonna throw a little bit of what's it called, what I think, right? Because at the end of the day, I ain't trying to get no one busted or nothing like that. But me personally, I don't think that the homie went out like that. Especially because I mean I grew up with this individual, bro. You know what I mean? And pretty much it seemed to be something that was planned well, and pretty much till this day, I mean, no one's gotten gone back for the homie, and I understand that pretty much no one will, because they also, honestly, some of them do believe that he did take his own life. But I did tap in with some family members and stuff like that, and they happen to agree with me, right? When it comes down, like, hey, bro, this homie didn't go out like that. This homie happened to be someone that was a G. And pretty much, this individual did hit the pin. He did hit the system and all that, right? But he was dedicated to the neighborhood. When we were all, like, participating, me, myself, when I was actually in the mix, he happened to pull us to the side when he did get the offering to become an actual bro, right? Or enso, whatever you guys want to call it nowadays, right? And pretty much let us know where his mind was at and what he wanted to do in life. and he was pursuing to become someone or be someone that can actually help the youth in the sense, right, that we weren't gonna be having too many homies participate in the red on red. He actually wanted to put a stop to all that. So this individual happened to become a bro, and when he did become a bro, like I said, he did mention it to the hood, and he let us know, bro, that the hood still was his first priority. But at the end of the day, he wasn't gonna be able to show favoritism, especially when it came to other neighborhoods. Because if you're from Watson, you know that Watsonville has a lot of red on red, right? So technically, he was just giving us the heads up that he was gonna be fair, and that's our channel, right? Because he was still our channel even when he became the voice, right? Well, he was the voice for the hood, but when he became an end soul, he still was the one pretty much technically running the hood. Even though there's a lot of homies from the hood that when stuff like that happens, they tend to take over because they already know that when certain individuals get clicked up, their main priorities and everything is to them. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to get put on the hat. They don't want to get put in none of that stuff, right? But this homie was a righteous ass homie, man. I remember one of the last one of the last juntas that I had with homeboy before I ended up defecting or whatever, right? This individual, it was when that incident happened with the whole the bowling alley, where Bugsy and Listo, they did what they did, you know what I mean? They handled theirs, and they did it in a wrong spot, right? But that happened to be an individual that they jammed up. That's why when people left comments on that video, I was like, bro, I was there. You know what I mean? We happened to be in the bar area when all that shit went down. And you guys are wondering, hey, Conejo, what were you doing in the bar area? Technically, I was underage, right? That happened to be a spot that the homie had unlocked, right? He was really good, cool, and friends with the owners of that spot. So they did allow us to go in there. And even though we didn't drink, they did allow the homies to go in there and kick it in the boots, right? Like chop it up and do our little things. We ended up doing a couple things that people don't know that happened in there. But in all reality, this individual right here, man, I remember when I got out and I heard of it, right? When I seen his name pop up on the news, I was like, damn, that's the homie right there, right? That was crazy, bro. Like to me, it got me in shock because I always seen this individual to be straight, bro. Never really backtrack. But at the end of the day, there could have been a disagreement that someone didn't agree with what he was saying because this individual did speak his mind, bro. When it came down to anything, he wasn't a one to be quiet, and he was a big boy. He was a big boy, bro. At the end of the day, and all I can say is that I don't really agree with what happened. And I'm saying this to you, Hellcat, because you're the one that brought him up. So you might be related to him or want to know something about that individual, right? All I can say is he was a real solid individual, and he kept the G all the way, bro. It's sad that what happened, especially when you lose, because he was considered to be someone really righteous, bro. You can ask any hood, and they will talk good about him, right? Because at the end of the day, when he did become an end soul, he did open lines of communication with other neighborhoods to try to start the peace, homie, and there was a couple things that I don't agree that he did, especially because they utilized, right? I'll say utilized. They happened to utilize my brother to get certain people to help him out go up in the ladder, right? Because let's be quite real. To go up that ladder, you got to have some things to present to the big homies, right? Like, hey, I got this, I got that. So he was able to use some of his young homies that were pushing weight, that were doing little things, right? And had good connections when it came to Mexico. You know what I mean? If you're from Watson and you happen to know who I am, you know what I'm talking about, right? We were always known to be allegedly dope boys, right? Like we used to get our money and do our thing. So even though when we were doing that, they didn't charge us rent or nothing like that. After they knew that we did have some plugs, right? They ended up taxing some of the people that were affiliated with my family and stuff like that to be able to give a paycheck. You know what I mean? Straight up, they were giving paychecks to the Bay or wherever he was sending it. Right? At the end of the day, he did use certain things that are avenues that I know of that I didn't agree with, but I understand that those are politics and it is what it is. But I'm not going to say nothing bad about the individual because he was righteous. He was always good with me, bro. That's all I got to say. He was always good with me. I did get a couple pacas for some red on red that eventually I might touch base on, right? And even when I fought my own homeboy from my hood, right? I remember him lecturing me like, hey, bro, you're not supposed to be fighting each other. You know, like, you guys are from the same hood. Like, he was always someone that took his time when it came to the youngsters, right? And not that many older homies from my hood can actually say that, because there's a lot of older homies from my hood that technically, when it comes to the youngsters, they don't really give two fucks, right? They only care about themselves, and they only want what benefits them. And as long as the youngsters are putting in work and all that, that's all they care about. This individual happened to be someone that took his time to educate us, to tell us good stories like, hey, bro, look, learn from this experience. Like, hey, this is how we gonna do stuff. This is, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I give a lot of respects when it comes to old boy Locz. And not just me, bro, hella people. But I will say I don't agree that he took himself out. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't agree that he took himself out, especially being the type of character he was. There was nothing weak about this individual, right? So, in order for someone to get close to him, how it seemed to happen that it was suicide, it must have been someone that he was really cool with. So that sucks, homie. Like, for me personally, that sucks. But at the end of the day, man, what can we do, right? But just give our respects to the lost and hope that their family are doing good, bro, at the end of the day. So with all that being said, man, I hope I answered some of your questions, Hellcat. I didn't want your comment to go missed. I did know the individual, and I have a lot of respect when it came to that individual, right? Shout outs to Abel. Shout outs to Locz. He was a real one, homie, at the end of the day. And with all that being said, man, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to hit a thumbs up, share it with others, drop a comment, hit that notification bell, and also drop a comment letting me know what you guys think about the individual, right? If you happen to know the individual and he rock solid with you, hey, bro, make sure you at least put a RIP for the homie Abel, you know? So with all that being said, man, I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, drop a comment. And yeah, man, it's your boy Conejo, and I'm out. RIP to the fallen soldados, you know what I'm saying? Especially the real ones. A rato.